All right, in the last one, which might not be the last one, depending on how they go up, but the last one we just filmed, we were talking about audiobooks, and we're back in my office, by the way. So one of the topics we thought we'd touch upon this time was podcasts. Like we talked about Alexa and new technology. Podcasts aren't that new, but there's something that I've been doing more and more of. Yeah. So I thought I'd mention one of my favorite podcasts is Stuff You Should Know. And I love it. Josh and Chuck pick a topic and talk about it for basically an hour. And on our last trip to Philadelphia, himself and I were in the car, and it's something we both can listen to and both enjoy. And they had one on Chinese foot binding. Like, I knew it existed, but not as in graphic detail as they went. Like,
and it was meant to control,
like breaking bones and then binding things, and
it's horrible.
I now know more about that. And sea monkeys. We listened to a sea monkey episode.
Did you have sea monkeys when you were a kid?
Yeah,
I did too.
And it now has ruined sea monkeys for me forever.
Well, they're like fleas. Or
no, they're like a shrimp, like a krill,
a brine.
Yes,
a brine shrimp. They're just little.
But there's like a whole thing. Like if you buy them now, they're not the same.
Oh,
because the guy who invented them had a proprietary ownership on his way of doing it, so they could sort of freeze dry them and have them wake up for you.
Suspended animation.
It doesn't work as good anymore. And so, anyways,
so you get a lot of dead sea monkeys,
or none that come to life, and so you're
That's
a sea monkey village. But yeah, so they just have such weird topics. Loch Ness Monster. So some are like that, but some are just very current. And so, hey, Stuff You Should Know, guys. I enjoy yours. And the other one I really just listened to and loved was Rachel Maddow did one called Bagman. And this is not a political forum. It's not meant to be a political forum. I find it interesting from a historical perspective because I knew about Nixon. And I think I knew he had a vice president named Spiro Agnew. But we never had a president named Spiro Agnew.
Right.
And I don't know that I ever knew why we didn't. And so her podcast, Bagman, really took you through this part. And I was alive. I was really young, but I was alive during that time, not old enough to pay attention to it. So it's this piece of history that I knew nothing about. And I love the way she laid it out. And it was, 6 or 8 episodes. So it wasn't a big time commitment. But I love those. We drive, when I go to the nursing home every week, it's on the other side of town if I'm by myself.
It's way over on the other side, near where I live. Way
I can end up with almost an hour in the car, though.
Both
to
ways,
and from,
depending on the traffic.
So I can listen to a complete episode of something, and so I find that I'm listening to them a little bit more. I enjoy them. How about you?
I tend to do writing ones. Self-Publishing Formula, although I think they just changed their name. Guys, I don't know what you changed your name to. Self-Publishing Formula. I really love Mark Dawson and James Blatch, and I've talked about Mark's
class.
I'll
have to look that one up.
Well, tons of fabulous information for any writer who's interested in self-publishing. I can't recommend that enough. And again, and they now do a video, so they have it on YouTube as well. So you can see the video version, or you can listen to strictly the audio version, whichever works better for you. And then there's another one that I found through them called The Creative Penn, Penn, and the lady's name is Joanna Penn.
Okay.
She's also English. It's funny, I listen to English podcasts, and I love the accent. It's wonderful to listen to, and I like those as well. Interesting though that you talk about that history one. Now it's not a podcast, but I have recently watched on Netflix. CNN did these documentary series about the different decades.
I've seen
and I watched
of that.
The 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and they recently released the 2000s. And fascinating. Things that you remember, things like that, like you kind of remember vaguely hearing a little bit about.
Like, well, seriously, Spiro Agnew, it was a weird name, and I think that's why it was...
Rang a bell.
We never had a president named that, and it never had occurred to me before that to ask why. And so, he was not a very nice man.
So, but so I really enjoyed those.
Yeah,
those
and
documentary mini-series type things.
Yeah, no, the stuff you should know, guys. I love them.
I've not heard of that one. I'll have to check that one out.
They're
it
of
sounds like fun.
They just are fun and just weird topics. Just
the beauty of it to me simply is the amount of learning, the stuff that you can learn today because of the internet.
Really, stuff you should know is like you and I doing stuff. It's
exactly.
Like, you know, if we put this out as a podcast, ooh, Susan's next thing, how to turn these all into podcasts. I'll make her learn it, not me. But there you go. But that kind of conversational tone, I think, is why I like the format.
Right.
Is that it's just a couple people talking.
Right. And that's exactly what I wanted to capture here. But see, that's the thing. Like, so you can do the podcast, which is strictly audio, or you can do what we're doing, which is in video. And like I say, Mark Dawson and James Blatch, they have added the video, or you can get it in podcast format. Either way, audio only. Do you guys listen to any podcasts? What are we missing?
Definitely let me know what I'm missing.
Maybe there's some really awesome one for readers that we don't know about. So if you listen to a podcast about reading, we'd love to hear about that.
There you are.
See you next time.